Today, we are cracking the code on your credit score. We're going to uncover the hidden traps that can absolutely tank your score in what feels like a blink of an eye. And more importantly, we'll show you how to protect your financial health from them. So, what exactly is this three-digit number that holds so much power over our lives? Well, it's not random, that's for sure. Think of it as a snapshot of your financial history. But its real job, it's all about predicting the future. Specifically, how likely you are to pay back money you borrow. It's basically your financial GPA. And if the score is your GPA, then your credit report is the transcript behind it. Every loan, every credit card, every single payment you've made or missed, it's all on there. And just like a single failing grade can torpedo your entire GPA, one financial misstep can seriously drag down your credit score. But here's the secret, the thing most people don't realize. Not all financial moves are created equal, not even close. Lenders use these really sophisticated scoring models, like FICO, to analyze your report, and they weigh different factors. And as you're about to see, some of those factors carry a lot more weight than others. Okay, just look at this. A full 35% of your score comes down to one thing, your payment history. Then another 30% is based on how much you owe. You add those two together, and that's a whopping 65% of your entire FICO score. Everything else? It's secondary. This is where the biggest damage or the most good really happens. So let's start with the undisputed heavyweight champion of score killers, your payment history. I'm not exaggerating here. This single factor can make or break your credit, and it is, without a doubt, the fastest way to cause just catastrophic damage. 100. That's how many points a single late payment can potentially shave right off your credit score. And get this, if you have an excellent score to begin with, the drop can be even more dramatic. It's not like a gentle slope, it's more like falling off a cliff. This event has an official name. It's called a delinquency, and it becomes this permanent black mark on your credit report, a signal to all future lenders that you might be a risky bet. It's the single most damaging thing because it directly contradicts the one thing your score is trying to prove, that you pay your bills on time. But, paying on time is only part of the story. The second biggest factor, the one that accounts for nearly a third of your score, is something called credit utilization. Now, it sounds like a fancy term, but it's for a very simple and honestly a very dangerous concept. How much of your available credit are you actually using? Just think of it from a lender's perspective for a second. If they see your cards are all maxed out, it looks like you're living on the financial edge, right? Maybe just one unexpected expense away from a total crisis. And even if you never ever miss a payment, that is a massive red flag, and it is absolutely going to hurt your score. Let me show you exactly how this works in practice, because we're about to walk through a super common scenario that trips up millions of people. I mean, it is a classic and pretty devastating case of good intentions gone totally wrong. All right, here's our starting point. You've got two cards, a total balance of $3,000, and a total credit limit of $10,000. So that puts your utilization at 30%. It's not perfect, but it's not a disaster either. You're in a pretty good spot. So now you decide to be responsible. You work really hard, you pay off card B completely, and then you close the account, right? Just to simplify your finances. It honestly seems like the smartest possible move you could make. But what happens next? Well, it might absolutely shock you. And boom, your utilization ratio just shot up to 75%. You didn't take on a single dollar of new debt, but by closing that one account, you instantly look like a much bigger risk to lenders. And your score? It's going to take a serious nosedive. And this right here, this is the key takeaway. It's not just about avoiding high credit utilization, it's about actively keeping it low. The data is crystal clear. People with the best credit scores, the ones who get the best interest rates on everything, they consistently keep their utilization in the single digits. That's the gold standard. But hey, late payments and high utilization aren't the only threats out there. There are other, more subtle accomplices that can quietly sabotage your score if you're not paying close attention. So let's look at a few of those. We just saw how closing an account can totally blow up your utilization ratio. But it's actually a double-edged sword. It can also hurt you in the long run. See, when you close an old account, you're eventually erasing a piece of your credit history. And the shorter your credit history, the riskier you look to lenders. And then there are collections. If an unpaid bill gets sold to a collection agency, that's another really serious black mark on your report.
Oh, and applying for a whole bunch of new credit all at once, that also sets off all kinds of alarm bells. To a lender, it can look like you're desperate for cash, and that is never a good look.
So maybe you've made a few mistakes and your credit score has taken a serious hit. Now what? Well, the road to recovery can feel impossibly long and slow, and there's a very specific, almost structural reason for that. It all comes down to one word: risk. Lenders want to see a long, consistent history of you being a responsible borrower. So, a single negative event can be a sign of bigger problems, which is why the law allows that information to stay on your report for years. It's kind of like a financial scarlet letter.
7 years. Yeah, that's how long a single late payment or a collection account can haunt your credit report. And if you've been through certain types of bankruptcies, that can stick around on your record for a full decade. That is a very, very long time to pay for past mistakes.
So, what's the secret to a great credit score? Honestly, it isn't a secret at all. It's not about finding some magic bullet or a quick fix. It's about consistency. It's about building a long, kind of boring, but beautiful history of on time payments and responsible borrowing. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
The good news in all of this is that you are not powerless. Not at all. By understanding the rules of the game, by knowing these major culprits and these hidden traps, you can start building a credit score that actually works for you, not against you. You really can take control of your financial future.
I really hope this explainer gave you a much clearer picture of how your credit score actually works. If you want to learn more about mastering your money, be sure to subscribe. We've got a lot more great content coming your way. Thanks so much for watching.